Over to Kesselring, and there's one away. Brings up Don Long, the designated hitter. Don flew out to the center fielder his first time up. Looks at a sweeping curve there, strike one. Pitch started somewhere over toward third base and ended up on the outside corner. It's easy to break one off against a stiff wind like this one. Buelna tried to do it there. He tried to throw a little harder curve, a slider type of a pitch. But he bounced that one in the dirt. It's 1-1. One pitch, another curve, strike two. It's tough for a right-handed hitter to hit a big sweeping curve like that with any authority. But if you hang on and keep your foot planted, you can turn your wrists inside out a little bit and hit it to right field. That time he tries to pull it down the third baseline. It's foul.
One and two.
Don Long looks at the pitch, hits it up around his eyes, down to Dietz at shortstop, fields the ball, makes a long throw over to first. Kesselring dropped it, allowing the runner to cross the base. Then he got possession, but too late. Given error on the play and a base runner for Gunn. We're looking at both Kesselring and Dietz. I think we've got to give that on Kesselring. The ball was in his glove. So the first base runner gets on here, although Buelna had him in a hole, 1 and 2. Tries to pick Long off, but Long steps back. So we'll give an error to Kesselring on the play. First Mountain View error of the ball game. Sean McKinnon at the plate, number 41. Swings through a fastball, strike one. Buelna at the ball at his belt, runner holds. Batter squares around to bunt, a nice bunt down the third base line. Bishop gloves it, but that's all he can do. It's a textbook bunt, especially with a high grass. Got it into the grass, slowed the ball down enough so that the charging third baseman had a long way to go, and Buelna really wasn't expecting it, and he wasn't in a good fielding position to make the play. So give an infield base hit to number 41, Sean McKinnon, on the play. Brings up Chad Thomas, the catcher. Chad signaled. Who's talking here? Singled. A little post-nasal drip is changing my diphthongs or something. But runners at first and second. The throw goes over to first. Kesselring slaps the tag down, but not in time. McKinnon gets back. So let me try it again. Chad Thomas singled in the second inning and came around to score the first run for the Titans. Cleveland dancing around second base. Buelna with the pitch. Up high, ball one. Runners at first and second, infield pulled in a little bit. Lopez looks down at first base, throws it back to the pitcher. It's 2-0. Scores 2-0. Gunn with the lead. They have runners at first and second in the fourth inning. I'm sorry, in the third inning. Made a mistake in my scorebook. Here's the 2-0 pitch, also up high, ball three. So Chad Thomas will probably be taking here with a 3-0 count. An error and a single have resulted in two Titan runners at first and second. Thomas with a 3-0 count against Buelna. Fastball in the dirt, ball four, loads the bases up. First walk of the ball game. Mountain View in some problems now. First batter of the inning was Genji Keene. He grounded out to the second baseman. Oh, wait a second. I think I've got a column messed up here. No, that's right. There's one out in the inning. Bases loaded. Batter is Day, who swings through a curveball, strike one. So once again, my apologies for getting a little confused here, but it happens. What can I tell you? Last time up, though, I can tell you that Day doubled. That was a ball he hit out into left field that got lost in the tall grass. Allowed him to leg out a double with bases loaded. Runner from third is coming in. Lopez picks up the ball. They've got a rundown possibility here. They throw back to third base. They put the tag on number 52 Long. Meanwhile, that's only 2 outs. They put the ball on the mound. Nobody covers third. Now Dietz is over there. He makes the tag, but the runner's safe. Dietz tried to make the tag at third base as the umpire sorts it out, and I'll try and sort it out for you as well. Let me give you a rundown on that play. The bases were loaded. There was 1 out. And so I was not the only one confused a couple of moments ago. Apparently the Spartans are also confused. With 1 out, the runner from third broke. That was Dan Long. The pitch was delivered in the dirt. Batter swung at it, or tried to bunt at it rather, and recorded the strike. Ball was in the dirt. Lopez picked it up. He then got the runner Long in a rundown. The third baseman Bishop recorded the out at third base, and then apparently thought there were 3 outs in the inning, and he rolled the ball. The ball was rolled back to the pitcher's mound, allowing the other runners to continue running, and the runner from second then came on to third base and was safe on a bang-bang play with Dietz covering. 2 outs now. Same batter is Day. Jeremy Day. And I think the count is now 1-2 with 2 outs. So runners at first and third. Ball hit back toward the middle. Buelna picks it up over to first. Rise ball to Kesselring, but he pulls it down. So Mountain View escapes damage. The bases had been loaded with just 1 out, but Mountain View pulls it together and records the outs when they need them. Phew. So at the end of, that was a tough inning for everybody involved. At the end of 2.5, the score is still 2-0. And we're going to need to have a tape change here at Mountain View High School. So with a score 2-0, we'll take a short break. Live action now. Mike Lopez getting his first chance against Tilavis. Looks at a ball. Bottom of the third inning, score 2-0. Pitch up high, it's 2-0. We're in the third inning at Mountain View High School. And the 8-1 Spartans playing host to the 3-3 Titans. But the Titans with a 2-0 lead as we enter the home half of the third as Lopez checks out ball 3. Jason Tilavis with a 3-0 count against him. Pitcher delivers low. And Lopez is on base. So we go to the top of the order for the Spartans. Tim Kesselring. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm saying Tim, but his name is Tom. I've only been talking about him for 3 years. Tom swung, was out looking in the first inning on a strikeout. He had swung and missed a big curve, and then he saw another fastball on the inside corner that he took for strike 3. Lopez at first base, and there's that fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. 2 strikeouts for the game for Talavas. Lopez the first walk. And a nice pitch there, but it's taken for a ball, 1-1. Infielders are charging that time because Kesselring had squared the bunt a little bit. So the count's 1-1. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mountain View down 2-0. There's a fastball. Ooh, that's a nice pitch. Taken for a ball. Talavas shaking his head a little bit on the pitcher's mound. And as a former pitcher, I would have to be shaking my head too. That was a good pitch. 2-1's the count, nevertheless. Tom Kesselring, the first baseman. Mike Lopez at first base, the runner. Kesselring swung on a pitch that was sailing to the outside, and it evens the count at 2-2. Not a bad pitch to hit. The right fielder is playing pretty deep. Center fielder shaded toward left, so there's a big hole in right center because the first baseman is pulled over a little bit toward the right field line, and the second baseman is up toward second base in preparation for a steal attempt. There's a pitch outside, ball 3. So Talavas a little trouble this inning with his control. Maybe all those doings back in the or in the visiting half of the 3rd chilled him up a little bit. The wind is kind of brisk here, and Talavas, the pitcher, without an undershirt, maybe stiffened up a bit. 3-2. Kesselring looks at ball 4, and the first 2 Mountain View batters reach base via a base on balls. Brings up Eric Fettler, the right fielder, gets a word from Fred Apezzo, Mountain View coach. Fred telling him, hey, maybe it's a good time to lay one down or think about punching it to right field or doing something here. Get your bat on the ball, take a look at some pitches maybe. That's probably what he's saying. Take a look at a few pitches. Fettler reached on an error by the shortstop Genji Keene the first time up back in the 1st inning. But then he was out stealing when he was picked off. He squares to bunt, pulled it back though in time. And the Gunn coach calls a timeout as the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. So out of, I don't know, 3, 7, 8, 9, 11 pitches, 9 of them have been balls. The coach wanted to come out and talk to Talavas and see what was going on. He's going to leave him in. So Mountain View now with a chance to score some runs in their half of the inning. They're down 2-0, but there's nobody out, and they have runners at first and second. First baseman pulled in way. He's not even holding the runner at first base. Talavas with the delivery. Fettler looks at ball 2. So Talavas having his trouble here in the 3rd inning. And the first pitch, or the first strike, is delivered to Fettler. It's now 2-1. You've got Mountain View, right? One with the black sweater might have an extra copy, because she wanted to give me one on the end of those bleachers, kind of a hefty one. 2-1 pitch to Fettler. No sign of scoring around that time. Now it's 3-1. So now they're going to send first baseman Adam Fee back to the baseline. Fettler's got a 3-1 count to work with here. Talavas in a big hole, nobody out, first and second. 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. 3 base on balls in a row have loaded the bases for Adam Cleveland. Adam, a single back in the first inning. And if he can get a single here, still having trouble with that word. If he can get a single here, he'll send his base runner scampering. There's Eric Fettler at first, Kesselring down at second, and Mike Lopez over at third base. Talavis, number 7, digging around the rubber, and he certainly dug himself a figurative hole to climb out of here. Facing the number 3 Mountain View hitter, Adam Cleveland. Pitches a fastball, swung on a miss, strike 1. Shot of Mike Lopez down at third base. There's Adam Cleveland, the right-handed batter, with an 0-1 count against him. Talavis at the belt. Curveball hit out into left center field, maybe deep enough to score a run as the left fielder runs over. McKinnon makes the grab. Runner Lopez comes in from third. The runner at second, Kesselring, slides in safely to third, and the sacrifice fly results in a Mountain View run. And now runners are at the corners. So give Adam Cleveland an RBI on the sacrifice fly. And that's the first Mountain View run as Mike Lopez scampers home. Runners at first and third, 1 out. John Dietz is the batter. He's singled back in the second inning, but then was retired on a throw through. As the runner from first steals, they fake the throw to third, then throw down, but way too late. Give Eric Fettler a stolen base. Runners at second and third. We may have a chance to look at that sacrifice fly, which resulted in Mountain View's first run. We'll see if we can get that in before the next pitch. We're going to stick with live action, I guess. Talavis at the belt. It's second and third. Actually, he's still getting the sign. There's a shot of Fettler at second. John Dietz at the plate. Looks at a curve at his head. Sends him to the dirt. And as John dusts himself off, we'll have a chance to see it. There was a delivery by Talavis. The ball hit out into left center field. McKinnon had to drift to his left, and he couldn't get anything on the throw. Lopez scored from third. A single here would score a couple more. Runners at second and third. Fastball up high. It's 2-1. So a hit here would be great. Mountain View with 3 hits on the ball game. Infield pulled in a little bit to try and cut the run off at third. First baseman in on the grass. Dietz fouls it off, out of play down the right field line, evens the count at 2-2. Third baseman in nearly at the grass. Second baseman has been jockeying behind the runner at second, Fettler, and then dancing into position. The shortstop, Keene, about normal depth, maybe pulled in a step or two. Center fielder is pulled in as Schnitz. Right fielder is still way deep. That's Day. Jeremy Day is still way deep in right field, but the left fielder McKinnon in a little bit. Talavis with the sign. He's at the belt, and time is called. Dietz decided to step out and think things over a little bit, break the tension, and he steps back in. 2-2 on John. Here's the pitch. Foul tip, and the catcher didn't hang on to it, so John will get another chance. If Chad Thomas had held on to the ball, John would have been out on a strikeout. But Thomas dropped it, so Dietz will get another chance for the Spartans. John Dietz, a cleanup hitter, senior cleanup hitter, working against Talavis. Curveball, lifted to right field. That could be some trouble. That'll get a run in. Jeremy Day gets under it. Runner Kesselring trots in from third base, holds up, and Fettler goes down to third. So consecutive sacrifice flies by the Spartans have tied it up 2 apiece here in the third inning. Credit John Dietz with an RBI. So without benefit of a run, Mountain View without benefit of a base hit, Mountain View ties the score at 2. Runner at third base now is Eric Fettler. The batter is now Glenn Mahoney, who struck out in the second inning. Didn't look at all like he had an idea against the lefty. Talavas pitches bounced in the dirt. A nice play by Thomas to keep it in front of him and hold Fettler at third base. In fact, the Mountain View coach said go when that ball hit the dirt, but Thomas got it off the chest protector and kept it in front of him. Saved him a run. Those are the little things that add up later in the ball game. You look back and you think, wow, that guy saved a run there. It would have been 3-2. Here's the pitch, ball 1, and that pitch just outside for ball 2. So he started him off with a pitch in the dirt, and that time a pitch around the knees. Glenn is the 6th Mountain View batter of the inning. First 3 reached via base on balls as Glenn swings through a pitch there. The ball was tailing away from him. That lefty's fastball, he cuts a little bit and it tails away from the right-handed batter. Tough pitch to hit. And Glenn didn't look too good on that one either. 2-1's the count though, so he's got a couple more chances. Infield back to normal depth. Fettler at third. 2-2 is the score. Curveball. Ooh, that's a good pitch to hit. Strike 2. When you, as a pitcher, when you're working that outside corner and you've got a ball that will tail away from the right-handed pitcher, and you just delivered one on that outside corner, then you come back with a curve. That's a deadly combination for a younger hitter. So it's even count at 2-2. Talavas with a pitch. Mahoney gets the ball on it. He hits it down toward second base. Play is made Fonner over to Fee, and that ends the inning. That ends inning number 3. Mahoney out 4-3. But Mountain View successful in pushing across 2 runs that inning. No base hits. The first 3 runners reaching base on balls. There were no errors that inning. And 1 runner was left on base. Count them both earned at the end of 3 complete innings from Mountain View High School. There you see it. The score, Gunn 2 and Mountain View 2. We're just about ready to start the top of the 4th inning. A good ball game here. Sit back, sharpen up your scorer's pencil. It may be a long one. It's 2-2 now as we go into the 4th. Brings up number 31, top of the 4th inning. Schnitz, Keene, and Fonner scheduled to bat for the Titans. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Luis Buell in his 4th inning of work. Had a good inning last inning. Gave up just 1 hit and 1 walk. Well, kind of actually a mediocre inning, not a good inning. Delivers ball 2 there. His first inning was good. He retired the side 1-2-3. The second inning, he had trouble against this Gunn lineup when they pushed across 2 runs on 4 hits. But there were 2 Mountain View errors that inning. Last inning, 2 more errors and a hit and a base on balls. So we'll see if he can set him down in order here. Jeff Schnitz, center fielder, looks at strike 1. 2-1 is the count. It's taken for a ball 3. Buellna having trouble retiring the first batter in the inning. Schnitz flew out to the center fielder his first time up. We'll see what he can do with this pitch. Curveball, strike 2, nice pitch. Pretty good curve delivered by Buellna that time with a 3-1 count. He likes that pitch, 3-1. There's a fastball there, or maybe he tried to overthrow a curve, and it results in a walk for Schnitz. First base runner of the inning for the Titans. Once again, they get their first runner on base. Well, I guess last inning they didn't. Genji Keene opened up with a ground ball out. But back in the second, when they scored the 2 runs, they got their first 2 runners on base hits. Try and pick him off at first, but Schnitz is back safely. Batter is Jason Keene, the third baseman. He singled in the second inning. But then he was thrown out at second base. He was picked off. Ball back to Buelny. Throws to the second baseman Blanchard. Steps on the base over to first. Recorded. Double play. 1-4 to 3. A little out of the ordinary, but the second baseman Cleveland beat John Dietz to the base. Dietz and Cleveland are talking a little bit about it right now, because really that throw should have gone to Dietz coming across the bag, whose throw then would have been a little bit stronger over to first, but all for naught as Mountain View records a double play. First one of the ball game. And as Duke Fonner steps in, he looked at the first pitch. We'll have a chance to look at it again after Buelna delivers this 1-0 pitch, or this 0-1 pitch. Ball is hit on a high hop down to Dietz. It goes to his right. It has to bounce across the infield, and